From the Detroit Free Press, it's Tuesday, March 9th. Here are today's top stories. Presented by Bush's Fresh Food Market. Calling all foodies, Bush's is hiring. Are you passionate about food? Are you looking for growth, development, and excellent wages? Come grow with Bush's and apply online at bushes.com/join our team. That's Bush's, BUSCHS.com/join our team.
I'm Dave Boucher with the Detroit Free Press. Michigan law still allows a boss to fire someone solely because that person is gay, or for a landlord to evict someone due to that person's gender identity. While federal law affords greater protections, Michigan Democratic legislators believe they have the votes to finally change local laws. For the first time in decades, there are Republican sponsors to bills that would expand the Elliott Larson Civil Rights Act. The state's foundational anti-discrimination law would be expanded to include protections based on sexual orientation and gender identity. Democrats in the House and Senate said they have enough votes to pass the measure, if it ever comes up for a full vote. Governor Gretchen Whitmer supports the changes.
We'll continue taking steps forward and pass laws to protect our LGBTQ brothers and sisters because it's the right thing to do. Because it isn't just good for our people. It's good for our economy.
Traditionally, GOP majorities in the House and Senate have argued any change must allow businesses to practice what they consider to be religious freedom. Senate Majority Leader Mike Shirkey shared the same sentiment in a statement on Monday. He said all discrimination is wrong, then equated discriminating against someone who is LGBTQ with the state stopping a business owner, citing religious beliefs as a rationale for firing someone due to that person's gender identity or sexual orientation. Lawmakers must address the issue soon, either through legislation or ballot proposal. In the fall, advocates submitted nearly 500,000 signatures with a petition to put the law change on the ballot in November 2022. Under Michigan law, once the signatures are verified, the legislature has the chance to make the same change or leave it to voters.
For the Detroit Free Press, I'm Noor Hall. Community members are driving up to the curb at various host sites around Oakland County to receive a free 10-minute crash course on what to do if someone overdoses in front of them. Drivers receive a Save a Life kit through their car window that contains 2 4-milligram doses of Narcan and a demonstration on how and when to use them. Narcan is a medication used to reverse overdose effects. The curbside crash courses are being hosted by the Alliance of Coalitions for Healthy Communities, which is a substance abuse and prevention group that serves Oakland County. The group's community relations manager, Tracy Sharikas, said the COVID-19 pandemic has made an already existing opioid epidemic even worse.
Back in March, right, when it was stay home, stay safe, don't go to the hospital unless you need to. So those periods of isolation really increased anxiety and depression and the lack of being able to connect.
This has caused an increase in overdose deaths over the past year. The next training is scheduled for April 2nd from noon until 2 p.m.
This is Julie Hines of the Detroit Free Press. Like other museums, the Michigan Women's Historical Center and Hall of Fame has been hit hard financially by the pandemic. There's been personal loss, too. In December 2020, the museum's 91-year-old founder, a pioneering activist in the field of women's history, died of COVID-19. Then on January 6, a 100-year-old water main burst in downtown Lansing, flooding the museum with several inches of water. Now, as Women's History Month brings the importance of learning the story of incredible women to the forefront, museum director Megan Bergman is wondering when the site can reopen. It took 2 weeks to fully clear the museum of artifacts on display, plus things like computers and furniture. Bergman says only a small percentage of the total collection was damaged because a large part of it was in storage in the Old Town section of Lansing. We were very, very lucky in that sense, she says. Photographs, magazines, and other paper objects sustained damage, as did 2 significant works of art. Bergman doesn't downplay the situation. I'm not going to lie, she says. It's been a month and a half, I guess 2 months now, of figuring out if we're going to be able to survive this again, if we're going to be able to open up the gallery again. But she remains optimistic. I trust that the community in Lansing, as well as in Michigan, as well as in the U.S., as well as hopefully someday in the world, will really understand the importance of uplifting women and their stories, she says. To donate to the museum, Go to the Michigan Women Forward website as miwf.org and click on the Her Story section.
I'm Kirkland Crawford with the Free Press Sports Department, looking ahead to the Big Ten tournament. The big question for Michigan, what is the status of Eli Brooks? The starting guard may not light up the stat sheet, but he is vital to what the number 4 Wolverines do. He rolled his left ankle in the first half of Sunday's loss at Michigan State. On Monday, Juwan Howard did not have an update on Brooks' status. Michigan doesn't have to play until Friday, and for the third time in a row, they could see their in-state rivals from East Lansing. The Spartans take on Maryland at 11:30 in the morning on Thursday. MSU seems to be safely off the bubble and in the big dance, but a win in the conference tournament wouldn't hurt. Tom Izzo's bunch has won 5 of their last 7 games, but one of those 2 losses came at the hands of Maryland.
For more stories from the Detroit Free Press, be sure to check out freep.com. That's FREEP.com. And if you're a fan and want to support our quality local journalism, subscribe. Go to freep.com/special offer. See you tomorrow.